You already know you're going to deliver it. But somewhere in that knowing, there's no excitement. There's no anticipation. There's no feeling of, this is mine and only mine. It's just function. Y'all know what I mean. You're just getting by. Not unhappy enough to leave. Not fulfilled enough to stay with peace. Just functioning at someone else's pace, no doubt. Toward someone else's finish line. Inside someone else's vision of what your excellence should build. And the cost of that is more than time. The cost is your identity. Every year you spend being excellent inside someone else's maze is a year you did not spend building your own. Sit with that. What your work feels like. What your vision sounds like. When you finally give it a voice. That right there is the real loyalty tag. Not just the energy you gave away, the identity you postponed. And some of y'all just felt that right here in your chest. Be honest. You know what it feels like to wear someone else's shoes for a long time. See, at first they hurt. Then you get used to them. Then one day, you forget you were ever supposed to find your own pair. You are out here solving someone else's maze in their shoes that don't even fit. And then you wonder why your feet hurt. That is exactly what functioning inside someone else's dream does to a high achiever over time. You get so good at navigating their maze that you forget you were supposed to be building your own. There's a moment. And I can't tell you exactly when it comes because it does hit different for everybody. But there's going to be a moment and you'll know when it is. It's the moment when the thing you have been pretending not to see becomes so impossible to ignore. Maybe it comes to you on a Sunday night when the dread hits before the week even starts. Somebody in here knows exactly what I'm speaking about. Maybe it's a review where you got every single thing right and felt absolutely nothing. Ooh, been there, done that. Told you this channel is built on lived experience and change. Maybe it was watching someone else do something smaller than what you're capable of and feeling more alive just watching them than you felt at your own job in years. Now that part right there, whatever the moment is, once it happens, you can't go back. You can try. A lot of people, they do try. They get the promotion. They take the fancy vacations. They organize their schedule. They tell themselves it's just a phase. But the knowing, it still stays. It sits right here in the back of your mind. So at 6 a.m., maybe you're in a parking lot. Maybe you're in the middle of a meeting where everyone's talking, but you are somewhere else entirely. That knowing is not your enemy. That knowing is the beginning of the most important conversation you will ever have with you. Me, myself, and I, meaning yourself. The one that starts with, what do I actually want? Not what am I good at? Not what is expected of me, and definitely not what makes sense on paper. What do I actually want? If this video feels a little too accurate, that is probably because you have spent years being the strong one for everyone else. The one who keeps showing up. The one who fixes it. The one who keeps holding everything together. Meanwhile, your own life has been sitting on the back burner getting reheated for the third time like last week's leftovers. Do yourself a favor and subscribe, because around here we talk about patterns high achievers normalize until burnout starts feeling like personality. In video 1, we named the tax. In video 2, we mapped all the dynamics. In video 3, I showed you the maze, but this one right here, this is where you find the door. And I want to tell you the truth about what happens after you have this conversation. Because most people, they make it sound like there is a breakthrough moment and then everything will just click. But that's not the case. That's not what happens. It's not. What happens first is the messy middle. I talk about it all the time. See, you see the cost clearly now. You know you can't stay inside this container. You started asking all the right questions and you feel confused, scared, uncertain. Maybe you're even a little angry at all the years that you spent not asking sooner. You cannot fully process what is happening. Oh, I get it. You cannot immediately identify how you actually feel. That's because you spent so long managing everyone else's feelings that sitting with your own feels so unfamiliar. And guess what? That's normal. That's not a sign you made the wrong choice. That is what feels like. That's what it feels like to finally take up space that you were always supposed to occupy. The messy middle is so real, y'all. The results are not there yet, but your path may not even be clear yet either. Some days you will wonder if you are crazy for wanting something different out of this thing we call life. But here is what I know about the messy middle. It is the most honest place you have ever lived. Because for the first time, you're not performing. You're not functioning. And you definitely aren't just maintaining. You are building. So I need to ask you something right now, here in this moment. Are you building or not? That's the question. Because the ones who are not here to waste time, the ones who are done peeking from behind the bushes, we are doing this from the messy middle together in real time. We're not waiting for perfect. We're not waiting to figure it out. We're not even waiting for the right conditions. Right now is the time. From exactly right where you are. Right now. Becoming is always messy before it's magnificent. And then there's the first taste. Not the finish line. Not the fully built thing. Not the version where everything's all figured out. Okay, put that out of your head for a sec. Just the first moment when something you built with your own hands, your own vision, your own decision lands in the world. So I'll tell you about mine. I walked into Hair World, which is a local beauty supply store down the road from my home, right here in the beautiful city of Pittsburgh, PA. I walked in and I said, "Hey, I'm Shatika. I live nearby. I want to introduce you to the Infinite Storefront's BTP product line." And the guy looked at me like, "What?" All perplexed, lost in a sauce. And I said, "It's better than petroleum." I said, "Why would you put gasoline on your body?" And he smiled. At that point, that was like the hook. He was intrigued. And then I told him, the best part is I grow all the herbs in my garden myself. And I showed him the cucumber bliss. And I went through the process of how it all starts. I'm like, I grow the cucumbers, I peel the skin, I dehydrate it, I put it in the oven, then I juice the cucumbers, I heat oils, I mix, I pour, and then you see the finished result, which is what you're holding in your hand right now. That whole moment, walking in there, introducing myself on my own terms, watching someone go from confused to curious, that was not a business transaction. That was freedom. Not the complete version, not the figured out version, not the version where everything is just working perfectly fine, just the first real taste of it, meaning freedom. So I need you to understand something about that feeling. It doesn't require completion to be real. It doesn't. You don't need to have it all figured out to feel the difference between functioning for someone else and building something that is yours and yours only. That first taste is enough for you to keep moving. See, that cucumber soap, my cucumber bliss, that was the moment. That was my seed. Yours might be opening, let's say, a brick and mortar. Maybe you want to start a clothing line, open a restaurant. Maybe you want to open your own private practice. Maybe you want to build your own platform. Whatever your dream looks like, it's going to feel that much better when you have a community that supports it and uplifts it with you. So subscribe. And when you get here, share your wins in the comments. Share your obstacles, because we are building together right from the messy middle. We're going to navigate all the things together. That is what this community is for, not just for you to sit and watch, to build. All right, I need to say something important before we close. My freedom looks like this right now. Me being able to visit someone in the hospital while everyone's 9 to 5 in. I will show you all the cucumbers I grew in a later video. I'll show you how the oils are mixed and how products are poured. I'll insert some clips right here. I'll show you the store I even walked in on my own terms. I constantly show you my version of freedom. And I'm not telling you that your freedom looks like handmade soaps, body bombs, lip balms like mine. But I'm telling you that your freedom does have a specific shape. It has a specific feeling, a specific moment where something you built feels more alive than anything that you've maintained for someone else. You already know what direction it's in. I know you. You know what direction it's in. You've known for a while. You're just waiting for this mysterious permission slip to be handed to you for you to take it seriously. Well, good news. This is your permission. So let me ask you one more time. Are you building or not? Because the ones that are building from the messy middle, the ones who are not waiting for perfect, the ones who are done functioning for everyone else's dreams, this community is for you. The conversation starts with, what do I actually want? Not what am I supposed to want? Not what makes sense to everyone else. Not what keeps everyone else comfortable. What do I actually want? And then you take one step toward it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a full out plan. Not a resignation letter written for Tuesday. Just one step in the direction of something that is actually made for you. That's how it all starts. For me, I do it one cucumber at a time. For me, I do it from the messy middle. So now the real question is, what are you building from your messy middle? Drop it in the comments, because I want to know. I read every one. You have been excellent your whole life. Hands down, you're the best. You're the MVP at building someone else's vision inside someone else's container on someone else's timeline. And you've been praised for it. You've been rewarded for it. You've depended on for doing that. But excellent without ownership is just well-managed disappearance. You did not come this far for that. You did not come this far, survive this much, figure all of this out to keep functioning for a dream that was never yours. I want to highly encourage you to have a conversation. The one with yourself. The one that starts with, I'm worth way more than this. Because you are. You are. I see you. Look, my products is this. Here's a BTP here. Because I finally believe that. And you are next. I'm the gas station. I fill you up so you can move. But you still have to drive. In video 5, that's where we'll talk about who you are when you stop being the most reliable person in every room. Identity after usefulness. That one's gonna hit totally different, and I'll see you there.